Silver's been acting a bit shy around its big brother, gold. Want proof? The gold to silver ratio is 89 to 1. That's far from the current average, which is around 75 to 1, meaning that gold is currently overvalued compared to silver, or that silver is currently undervalued compared to gold. At the time of recording this video, gold's price is $2,028. Silver is sitting around $22.75. But what does this mean? Well, it means that it's highly likely that silver will start dramatically outperforming gold as the ratio drops back down to more average levels. It's very easy to justify purchasing gold when it's performing better than silver, but is that the correct logic behind choosing which one to buy? Well, I've put together 7 different articles and videos we will break down from different experts giving their thoughts on the matter. Is silver about to outperform gold? This week's gold, silver, and platinum specials from Miles Franklin are the beautiful 1-ounce 2023 Britannia's 315 over spot, 50 coin minimum. Also the 1-ounce gold Krugerrands, $59 over spot. Last but not least, we have the 1-ounce platinum Volcambi bars, $69 over spot. Just email me, slayer@milesfranklin.com. Now let's get to the video. Well, folks, I have the opportunity of a lifetime. Imagine getting free gold or silver shipped straight to your front doorstep for free just by clicking one button. Well, that's a reality around here, folks. All you got to do is subscribe, and I will be posting my 100,000 subscriber entry video soon. The prizes will be massive. I've given away entire 1-ounce gold coins before. I've given away several tubes of Eagles before, like my last giveaway. So just make sure you subscribe and stay tuned for the entry video. I love you all. Now let's dive into this. Gold and silver are both great investments. Not even just investments, wealth itself. But my name is Silver Slayer for a reason. It's kind of funny that gold is 89 times more valuable than silver when silver has 89,000 times more uses than gold. It should be reversed. And back in the day, silver was just as valuable as gold. The oldest ratio going back in ancient times was 2.5 parts silver equals 1 part gold, 2.5 to 1. Gold was silver was just as valuable because silver has so many uses, more uses. Gold sits around in vaults and is used for jewelry and coins and necklaces and bars. Silver is used for that, but also to make the world literally go round as we try to save the planet from global warming and climate change, if you believe in that stuff, with solar panels, EVs, and that all requires silver. But we're going to be going over 7 different articles talking about if silver is going to catch up with gold. Both have their place. Both are great to diversify in. I showed a tiny bit of my stack. I own 1-ounce gold coins. I own 1/4-ounce gold coins. I own kilo bars. I own 1-ounce bars. I own it all. There's no wrong way to stack. It is all wealth itself. But there is a trend. And when you're looking at the gold to silver ratio right now, it is exaggerated, meaning that it's going to naturally come back down. And when it goes back down, that means that silver will start outperforming gold. So this is not speculation. This is just looking at data showing that right now gold is near all-time highs. Silver's not even half of its all-time high, and silver always does catch back up. Now, just because my name is Silver Slayer, I'm not saying, I'm just being realistic. If the ratio was down to 60 to 1, I would be saying that gold is most likely going to start outperforming silver because that's a very low ratio in terms of the average, meaning that gold will start rising to fluctuate to equal it back out up to the 75 to 1 level. Just like when the ratio was 125 to 1 in March of 2020, that was a huge red flag showing that silver was about to dramatically outperform gold because 125 to 1 is very, very, very high. So is 89 to 1. So what does that mean? Silver is going to start outperforming. Now, let's check out some of these articles. Will silver catch up with gold? Silver set to outperform gold in 2024 as gold loses luster. Silver is the new gold as Egyptians try to protect savings. Can silver outshine gold? This is a 4th quarter outlook, the rise of the hybrid metal, comparing it to gold. We also have a video, silver poised to dramatically outperform gold this year. This is all stuff that it really doesn't matter in the grand scheme of things. Both are great to invest into. I highly recommend investing into both. But right now, currently, gold is overvalued compared to silver. Not to the dollar, because $2,000 gold is still cheap. I'm saying comparing it to silver's price, gold is overvalued. If you want to trade between the gold to silver ratio, earning free gold or free silver, you can also do that. Wait, Silver Slayer, I can earn free gold or free silver without spending a single penny in my pocket? Yeah. Let's say the gold to silver ratio is 90 to 1. You go into your local coin shop, turn in 1 ounce of gold for 90 ounces of silver. So now, or let's do it this way. You have 90 ounces of silver. You walk into your local coin shop, right? So you have 90 ounces. You drive to your coin shop. You exchange it for an ounce of gold. So now you leave the coin shop. You have 1 ounce of gold. You don't have any silver anymore. You just had 90 ounces. Now you have an ounce of gold. Now let's say next year, or let's say even in like 4 or 5 months, the ratio goes at 100 to 1. Well, you can go back to the coin shop, trade that ounce of gold you had for 100 ounces of silver now, and get your 100 ounces. So now you leave the coin shop with 100 ounces. Remember, you originally went to the coin shop with 90 ounces of silver. You traded it for an ounce of gold, and now you could trade that ounce of gold for 100 ounces of silver. So you earned 10 ounces of silver without spending a single penny out of your pocket. You could trade the gold to silver ratio, earning free gold or free silver. You could do it the opposite way with gold. And some people do that. It's extremely tricky because you have to look, you have to know what the cheapest prices over spot is. And nowadays with premiums, it can be a little tricky, especially not knowing. But you could do that. And some people do that. And it's very easy to tell when ratios are extremely out of whack, like when it was 125 to 1. People probably made a killing off of that trading the ratio because it was obvious silver was going to start outperforming. Now, the whole point I'm trying to get to is that the gold to silver ratio does matter. It is a tool to determine which is the better buy at that point in time, at the current time. So let's go over this article. It was written yesterday. Will silver catch up with gold? Precious metals have been in the news again in recent months. It's linked to new highs for gold above $2,100 an ounce. And looking at the past 3 years, it is noticeable that there has been no specific trend in precious metals markets, although the price of gold itself has remained quite high. The euphoria associated with palladium has definitely passed, and despite the high hopes associated with platinum, the price of this metal remains clearly below the $1,000 per ounce level. However, investors are wondering why silver is trading only half of its historic highs, with gold having permanently registered above $2,000 per ounce. Is silver likely to catch up with gold, also reach historic peaks? I definitely think so. And I definitely think that, and we'll go over a little bit of this in the next paragraph, but I definitely think that silver will take on a life of its own as well. Regardless of what gold's doing, silver will do what it does because they're used for two completely different things. Two completely different things. Gold is a store of wealth. Yes, there's some gold used in technology, but not much. Most gold is used for jewelry and bars, where silver has real-world applications that are very important, especially in military. So it should be noted that we have about 7 times more silver in the ground than gold, and that is not true. It comes out of the Earth's crust 7 to 1. But we're mainly looking for gold, lead, and zinc. So this is wrong. This is blatantly wrong. We dig gold, or we dig, when we're looking for gold, lead, and zinc, every 7 ounces of silver, we get an ounce of gold. It comes out of the Earth's crust 7 to 1. There's not 7 times more silver in the ground. It comes out of the ground 7 to 1. We're not looking for silver. There's very few silver mines. It comes out of the Earth's crust 7 to 1. So the ratio should be around 7 to 1 because that's what it comes out of the ground at. But why is it 89 to 1 then? It's 7 to 1 coming out of the Earth's crust. And actually is lower than that since most silver is thrown away. And most silver, since it's used in industry and technology, it's thrown away in landfills, never to be recycled. Where most gold that gets dug up out of the ground, that ounce of gold is going to stay in circulation for centuries because it's used for coins and jewelry, so it gets remelted into more coins and jewelry. Whereas silver is used for technology, so it's thrown away in landfills, never to be recycled. So yes, it comes out of the ground 7 to 1, but it's actually much lower than that, given the fact that most silver is thrown away, where that gold is going to be staying in circulation. So the way you look at these things is extremely important as well. So in this view, it should not be a surprise that silver is definitely cheaper than gold right now. On the other hand, we currently have to pay about 90 ounces of silver for an ounce of gold. Historically, it's just over 50. And yes, this is the historic average ratio of 50 to 1. But in the last 10 years, it's been around 80 to 1. This means that keeping the ratio from the average of the last 10 years of the price of gold at $2,000, silver should cost exactly $25, which is slightly more than it costs now. On the other hand, if the historical price were to be maintained, silver should cost around $37. This is still lower than its historical highs, around $50 per ounce, but 60% higher than the current price. Do these valuations even make sense when looking at the fundamentals? No, there's a significant shortage in the market. For 10 years to 2020, we saw a fair amount of oversupply in the silver market. In this view, silver's price then averaged closer to the $15 to $17 per ounce level. Did you guys know? For the last 10 years, silver's average price has been around $15. So if you're a newer stacker and you see $23, $24 silver thinking that it's very pricey, thinking that it's low, if you say, oh, $24 silver, the past 10 years, the majority of my stacking career, silver's been $17, $18. So your perspective of what you think silver's price is really doesn't mean much. You're desensitized to higher prices because you got in at that price. So, however, from 2021 onwards, the silver market entered into a sizable deficit. This is not only the result of greater investment demand for physical silver, but above all, an increase in industrial demand. Around 50% of all global silver demand comes from industry. For 2023, silver demand is around 3,500 tons, or about 1.1 million ounces. And it's actually 1.21 billion ounces, and that's not including some reserved or some revisions they made. But regardless, the strongest growing category is photovoltaics, PV cells, solar panels. Given the current energy transition, further dynamic growth can be expected on this side of the category. Investment or jewelry demand is also significant, but at least in the latter case, there are no strong growth prospects. So more importantly, the supply of silver markets remain more or less constant in recent years at just over 1 million ounces, consisting of mining and recovery from so-called scrap. Like I said, it is also worth noting that the majority of silver mining is related to the mining of other industrial metals such as copper, zinc, and nickel, and also gold. Like I mentioned, they're looking for gold, lead, and zinc, and copper. If they find silver, they'll take it. But there's no silver mines. There's very few silver mines. And the one that tried to get put up in Canada got protested and shut down before it even got launched because it was contaminating the groundwater, which is ironic because silver purifies water. Now, yes, it would still be contaminating the groundwater at that mine, but it's just ironic because silver has antimicrobial properties that can purify water. But anyways, this is why silver supply outlook is also linked to the extraction of other metals. Nevertheless, right, silver's a byproduct, right? It's a byproduct. It's found by accident. This is also linked to the extraction of other metals. Nevertheless, given the uncertain economic factors which also affect demand itself, we should not expect a large increase in silver production, which is important. Silver production won't be increasing much, but the demand will be increasing much and will be increasing a lot. Plus, we have record-breaking supply deficits also. Like they mentioned, looking at the supply-demand balance, we have seen a widening deficit since 2021, and demand-supply advantage is expected to continue this year as well. Despite this, silver's price has been stagnant for more than 3 years. Why is this happening? Giant global reserves? Well, mainly because of price manipulation. And this is not a conspiracy. There's tons and tons of evidence and data and facts and proof of people literally getting sentenced to prison and banks paying $920 million fines proving this. Silver's price is suppressed. Like Andy Schectman says, price is the greatest tool of misdirection. If banks don't want people investing into silver, hold the price down because people see the price is low and they don't want to touch it. Because people need validation or confirmation that the price can go high. Like I mentioned in the introduction, gold is justifiably gold is justifiably easier to buy when the price is performing well. But if the price is performing well, that means that it's higher. Do you want to buy something when it's high, when it's expensive, or when it's cheap? If gold is expensive, $2,000, it's very, very high compared to what it's been, over the past several years. Why would you want to buy it at the highest price it's been? You want to buy something when it's low, when it's cheap, which means silver would be the better option right now because silver is not even half of its all-time high. Not saying that buying gold right now is a bad idea. I'm just saying looking at the logistics of the gold to silver ratio and the history of these prices, that's just how it works. Buy low, sell high, right? But it's different with precious metals because precious metals is money itself. So you're still, at the end of the day, you're still transferring fake money into real money. So the latest USGS, or United States Geological Survey report, indicates significant increase in discovered silver reserves in the ground. For 2023, reserves are expected to increase from 550,000 to 720,000 tons. At current mining levels, there's enough for about 27 years. Two countries are primarily responsible for the increase in these reserves. Russia, which almost doubled, 92,000, and Poland, which increased to 170,000. And overtaking Peru, which is interesting because Mexico and Peru used to be the largest. But at the same time, Poland is far behind in terms of silver production, mining about 1,300 tons per year, which, if current reserves are assessed, would result in the country being able to mine silver for another 130 years. As can be seen, there's still a lot of room to increase silver mining worldwide, although there's a lack of major investment to meet large potential from PV or also investment demand. And here's the thing, if silver's price is low, then nobody's going to be digging it. No miners are going to be touching gold with a 10-foot pole. They would rather be looking or not touching silver with a 10-foot pole because they would rather be looking for gold. If you're a miner, if you're a mining company and you're trying to pay your salary and make money, would you rather look for an ounce of something that is $2,000 or an ounce of something that's $23? Why would you look for silver when gold is 90 times more valuable for the same ounce? They're looking for gold. Plus, silver is hard to find. There's only so much silver in the Earth's crust. And remember, it's a byproduct. There's very few primary silver mines because there's other metals. Now, yes, even though silver is much more important, plays a much larger role, that doesn't mean much when the price doesn't mean much. Financial market doubts silver's potential. And that is, I think, looking at, and here you go, ETF markets. ETFs are the digital side, and I don't think people really understand the difference between if you can't hold it, you don't own it. So anyways, let's go to some of these other articles real quick. I know I stuck with that one a lot, but they did have some good points. And, these ones are talking about stock market volatility. Investors seek gold and silver, which obviously is going to be something that is that's going to play out more and more. But ratio signals mean silver may be ready to rally. Just like we were talking about, current gold to silver ratio at 89-1 means that silver is undervalued compared to gold. Investors may pivot towards silver stocks, driving up demand, right? When I say gold is overvalued, I'm not talking about compared to the dollar. I'm meaning that gold is overvalued compared to silver's price. People don't understand that. And it's so frustrating when someone comments on a video saying gold's not overvalued. They're not understanding what I mean. I'm saying it's overvalued compared to silver's price because the gold to silver ratio is 89-1. That's just a fact, right? When this ratio is high, it's indicating silver's undervalued relative to gold, not to the dollar. Comparing the two metals, not comparing the dollar to one of the metals. That's why before you comment something, make sure you understand what I'm saying or what the data is indicating so you don't look silly, and be respectful about it. I'm not saying I'm the smartest guy in the room. I'm sure a lot of you are watching these videos that know more than me. I am an expert to some degree as I've been studying this on a daily basis for several hours a day since 2016, making daily videos since 2016 or early 2017, educating people. And, if someone's going to come in that just started a year or two ago thinking that they know it all, you might not know as much as you think you do, or especially given the emotional side of things when people are investing with their head, not their heart, not thinking rationally, or put a lot of money into gold, and then you hear me saying that silver's a better buy than gold right now. That might make you a little bit mad, so you want to justify yourself or try to rationalize why gold would be the better buy right now, which is fine, right? I mean, I'm not trying to make anyone mad, right? Let's say you bought gold instead of silver because you're like, oh, gold's high right now, so gold's better because it's higher, it's doing better. But then you hear me say, well, it's higher, so why would you buy it higher since that means the price is more expensive than past? Then you're thinking, oh, wow, and that hurts your feelings. But that, so then you have to comment on my video trying to justify to yourself why you did that. But it's fine because I'm just stating the fact that silver is undervalued compared to gold and gold is overvalued compared to silver, and I'm showing data showing that historically when the ratio is 89 to 1 or 90 to 1, that means that silver is going to start outperforming gold. That has nothing to do with right now meaning that you made a bad decision, because at the end of the day, I'm still buying gold right now, I'm buying silver right now. I'm saying that the data indicates that when the gold to silver ratio is lower, that means that, or when the gold to silver ratio is higher, that means that silver will outperform gold, just like this video right here. Silver poised to dramatically outperform gold. Why do you think he's going to say this? He's going to talk about the gold to silver ratio, showing the data, right? This is not rocket science. It's just thinking rationally and looking at the historical patterns. Not saying history always repeats itself, but also given the other information, the data showing the supply and demand fundamentals, there's plenty of gold around the world. Gold's not scarce. Why do you think there's very low premiums on gold? Because gold is not scarce, silver is. And looking at the number one rule to investing into something, low supply, high demand pushes the price up, what does that tell us? Very low supply of silver, very high demand pushes the price up. That's just it. Anyways, though, I hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you thought it was educational, informational, at least entertaining, make sure to hit the like button. Also, make sure you subscribe if you want a chance to win some silver. I'll be posting the entry video. I don't know when, but, I really am excited to hit 100,000 subscribers. So help me get there. Share this. Tell your friends to subscribe. Subscribe on your second YouTube channel. Do whatever. Do whatever you got to do. Let's get to 100K. It's a huge staple for the silver community, showing that we are coming, this is something that is becoming more mainstream, and people are going to be speaking up against the truth or exposing the truth and sharing the worthless aspect of the dollar as people start to preserve their wealth and protect themselves from this very corrupt society, especially financial system. Anyways, yeah, I'm going to wrap this video up here. Thanks for tuning in. Remember, Slayer at Miles Franklin. If you want to purchase silver or gold, you don't have to. I just have an opportunity to buy from a safe place, and, I'll be able to walk you through if anything were to happen or whatever. God forbid, call me. You can't really do that. You don't have that luxury with other websites you buy from. You're just going to talk to some random customer service representative that doesn't know your name, doesn't know who you are, doesn't care who you are. Whereas me, you're a subscriber of mine, so if something happens, you're going to call me on the phone, and I'm going to call Andy and figure it out one-on-one personally. Where on these other websites, you just have to hope customer service does something about it. That's a huge, huge deal in terms of something of safety, and I can offer that. And I feel like that's why I recommend, if you were to buy from me for that reason. Plus, we do have good prices, but regardless, that's a huge reason why. That's a huge advantage that I can offer you, I guess. So anyways, yeah. Thanks for tuning in. This is Silver Slayer. I'll see you guys tomorrow. Peace.